Okay, so hello. My name is Teresa Tucker. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I've been using Stampin' Up! Products since it's been a while. It's been about 16 years. And I am trying to start a business. I'm also working full time, so it's been live tonight. But we're going to make 3 cards. This one, and this one. So these are called swing cards. And so I'm going to show you how to do this. You can use whatever stamp set you want. I'll let you know what I'm using tonight. We're going to use soft Seedlings. And then I'm going to use a number of dies. So one is the Stylish Shapes dies, the Layering Circles dies, the Stitched Rectangle dies, and then I'm also using a die from the Chick dies. And I actually have that packaged up in one of my projects here, so I can't pull that out. So anyway, how are you tonight? I hope you're all doing well, and I hope that you like, share, comment on my video. It really helps my business. Like I said, I'm just getting started. I haven't been a demonstrator for 16 years. I've just been using Stampin' Up! Products that long. And I signed up as a demonstrator about 4 years ago. And so this is what I really enjoy doing. In fact, if I don't get a chance to create something during the week, I kind of get grumpy. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started here. So the first card we're going to create is this one here. For my cards, I usually like to also stamp an envelope, decorate it. So that's what I did with this one. I didn't decorate envelopes for the other 2 that I'm going to demonstrate tonight, but I will be including those. So if you share, like, comment, if you do all 3 of those, then you get your name in a drawing 3 times for these cards that we're making tonight. And then you can do the same thing on YouTube. If you catch my YouTube channel, that'll be up on Saturday. So let's see. So these are the pieces that we need for this first card. And I am doing some demonstrating as far as cutting and how to place things. So not everything is pre-cut out or pre-stamped. So we will, when I edit this for YouTube, then I will speed up through those sections so you don't have to watch me do something monotonous, but I am going to go ahead and take the extra time to adhere or to demonstrate everything that I'm doing, primarily because people have questions and I want to make sure that you understand how the cards go together. So and unfortunately, I still don't have it's not an iPad, it's a Surface Pro 3. I don't have that fixed yet. The screen got broken, so I don't have it to watch for comments. I can see comments if I turn around to my laptop, but if I miss your comment, I will certainly respond to you a little later. So for this one, we're going to use... First thing that we need to do here is we're going to cut out a square right here. Okay, so we're using this one. So this is going to go backwards like this. So the square is actually going to be cut into this portion here. And I did not emboss this, so I did emboss the original, but for this one I am not embossing it. So we're just going to line this up here, right to left, top to bottom, as accurately as possible. And then we're going to tape it down. Now, when you're doing a swing card like this, you only want to cut up to this line there. And I'm going to see, I don't know if I can put this through on my, no, I can't. I can't put this through on my mini, so I'm going to back up just a second. I apologize for that, but I'm going to back up just a second and run this through my stamp cut and emboss machine. But I want to show you how I'm going to line this up. So when I run this through my my emboss machine, I want to line this plate up right about there or just slightly over, because I don't want it to cut this part. So I will be right back. All right. So we'll take this off. So my husband and I, we were out of town a couple of weeks ago. And so when I started creating these cards, I was in a hurry and I felt like I was just rushing through it. But I think I've got it all. So this part is going to fold back like that. And then we're going to put this piece of cardstock, and I'll have all the dimensions listed so that you have them. And it's going to go on here like this. But first, we're going to stamp this leaf, and then we're going to also create this greeting right there. So here's how we're going to create the leaf. We're going to take crushed curry, and we're going to stamp it. We're just going to tap this crushed curry all over it, like that. And then we're going to take the pumpkin pie, and we're going to put some pumpkin pie around here, like this. And this is a sponge dauber that I'm using. And I don't want to put it in the middle because I do want some of that crushed curry to show through there. Don't want to cover it all up. And then we're going to take the cherry cobbler, and we're just going to dab around the edges of the leaf like this. Now, I apologize. I'm sitting away from this block. I'm sitting away from this project, so it's not as easy for me to see it, but you can see what I'm doing. If you like, share, comment, you're going to get your name in the drawing for these 3 cards that we're making, and whichever ones turn out the best are the ones that you're going to get. So please be sure to comment, like, share. It helps my business, and you get a chance to win my cards. Okay, so I got a little bit of red there. I think it's going to be okay, but I'm going to go ahead and just wipe that part off. And then I'll just dab some crushed curry on there. Okay, so now we're going to huff on this, and huffing is, because this is a water-based ink, huffing on it will moisten it so that you can stamp it, and it'll come out, it'll be fine. It's not going to dry. So let's do this. And let's see, let's put it right there. Okay. Now I should have done this on the rubber stamp, but since I didn't, I'm just going to go ahead and color this in with the old olive Stamp and Write marker. I'm sorry. And try to make as smooth a line as I can, like this. Okay, so I'm going to leave out the cherry cobbler, and I'm going to clean this stamp off. I don't have any music going tonight. It's awfully quiet without it. I may have to turn some on so we can sing with each other, right? I don't think so. So a lot of times I'll play Elvis songs because he and I are good friends. All right. Put that away. So we're going to take a piece of cardstock, basic white cardstock, and we're going to stamp "So Grateful" on it. And then we're going to fussy cut around it. All right. So just a second. I am going to turn some music on. It's so quiet. Okay, let's go ahead and fussy cut around this. We're just going to take our snips and we're going to go around this. So in order to make this look the best, you need to kind of keep your scissors or your paper back towards the back part of the scissors. Don't cut with the tip. Sometimes it's impossible not to have some points on your paper or your cardstock when you're cutting around it, but you can fix that after you finish by just rounding off those ends. So my husband, he's been retired for 3 years, but he's running a business where he is selling wood for fireplaces, and he's also making chips for grilling. So like when we get an apple tree or a hickory tree or something like that, that's flavorful when it's smoked, then he is chipping those and then we are selling those. So he's been really busy today since we got back last Sunday from a trip. He had a medical situation that came up, and so last Friday, he went to Convenient Care to have this thing on his head looked at, and they ended up removing it. It ended up being a cyst, and it was so big that it actually left a hole in his scalp. So we were taking care of that, and I couldn't leave him by himself, and he was in a lot of pain, so he did get some medication for it, but then he had to go back the next day for them to look at it. And when he went on Friday, they packed it because it was deep, and then so Saturday when he went back, they pulled that packing out, and oh my gosh, I think he said it brought tears to his eyes. So it was really unfortunate that it had to be packed. But then he went back Monday, and this time they removed the packing and they didn't put anything else in there. And then we've got I used to work at a hospital. I worked there for 26 years, and so we've got some friends who are, well, one, our daughter's a nurse, and then also we've got some friends that are surgeons and stuff. So the one friend of Mike's, he's a childhood friend, he said, that looks like a bullet exit wound. I was like, oh, great. Thankfully, it wasn't that. So, okay, so now I need a piece of this gold metallic paper. We're going to do it this way. We're going to do it this way. Okay, so now we're going to cut this. Now we're going to fussy cut around the top here. Okay. They did say, though, that he has to stay out of the pool, the hot tub, and the ocean, because it's not safe for him to be in the water because they don't want him to get an infection. So he's got to be really careful. Okay, so now for this, I'm going to use, let's see, did I use Stampin' Dimensionals? Yeah. We'll use Stampin' Dimensionals to adhere that. Move that out of the way. All right, so now we're going to take the backings off of these. And we'll stick that down here. Like that. And now we're going to adhere this to the front of the card. So this square that I cut out, I cut it to make it fit just on the inside of these dots that you see here from when I ran it through with the die. So we're just going to put, actually I think I'll just use some Stampin' Seal. I try to keep my videos to an hour. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that tonight because there's 3 of them and they're not all simple. So now we're going to use a piece of pumpkin pie and we're going to let's run this through. I don't think I have one that's already gone through. Let me look and see. No, that's too small. No, that's too small. Okay. So we're going to run this through with that large die. Now I think I can run this through on my mini, so I'm going to go ahead and do that so you can see. Yep, it'll go through. So for your mini stamp cut and emboss machine, you need 3 plates. You need a 1 and 2 2s. So we'll put the 2 down here. We'll set this on, and then we'll put the top on. I may have to tape this in place because it's moving around, but we'll see. There's enough room on either side, all the way around. There's enough room, so it probably doesn't need to be taped down. And I should tell you too that when we're running things through the either the large or the mini stamp cut and emboss machine, you want to try not to run these dies through straight like this because it's hard on the machine. So if you have room, you want to kind of put it a little cockeyed, but we don't have room for this size die on this mini to do that. Hey, I was wondering, is the excuse me, is it, maybe it's Ian, maybe that's what it is. So on the inside, now we're going to stamp this. Just want to confirm that this is the right size of basic white cardstock. And then we're going to grab the stamp. Now, I have all of the stamps. I've got the blocks. I've got the whole set of blocks. You don't have to have the whole set. You can start out with like just size D, which is, I think This one here. Yeah, this one. So you can put almost any size stamp on here. The only ones you can't put on are the really large ones, but this works well for small stamps. So that's a good place to start if you don't want to invest in all of the blocks at once, but you can buy them all separately as well. Okay, so we're going to take the crushed curry and I'm going to just stamp it here. And then I'm going to stamp For You on here with cherry cobbler. Okay, so I like my grid paper because it helps me line up my cardstock, and then I can stamp my greetings straight. And usually what I'm doing is I'm taking the top or the bottom. In this case, I'm looking at the top and I'm trying to line this up with the top of the cardstock so that I'm sure that I've got it straight. Yeah, there's that. Now we're going to adhere this to the pumpkin pie square. Now, to put it down, the best way to line this up is to use some repositional tape here. I don't have any on me, so I'm going to use a little bit of Post-it tape. I'm just going to put that on there, and I'm going to stick this on top like that. And then I'm going to put my stamp and seal here, and then lay this down and pull this back, and then remove my tape. And if there's any residue left on there, just rub your finger on it like that and it'll come right off. I think I need to color this part green. And that's that card. So that was quick. Now see, on this one, I ran it through an embossing folder, and I didn't do it on that one. I totally skipped that step, and it wasn't on purpose. All right, that's that one. Now let's move on to this one here. Now this one here is just a little bit, oh wait a second. I did not put the embellishments on here. Let's do that real quick. And I've been using some of the large ones because I'm running out of the small ones. So I'll put that there. And let's look at the card. And then I put a small one up there and then a large one down there. You can't see what I'm doing, can you? I'm trying to pick this up. It's refusing. And then I'm going to put another large one down here. And you can put those anywhere you want. You don't have to put them in the same spot that I put mine in. All right. So for this card now, we're going to stamp this leaf, and then we're going to fussy cut it out, and I'm going to show you how to line this up and then take care of the extra that's hanging over, and when you need to worry about that. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do here, and I'm sorry, I'm going to have to back up. Okay, so it's part of the layering circle dies, and I think I used this one. Let me see. Yeah, that's the one. So again, I'm going to line this up. I'm going to try to center it as best I can. And then I'm going to run it through, and I'm only going to put the plate 3 up to this score line right here so that I don't cut into that side, because we don't want to cut into it. So I'm going to tape this down up here just to kind of hold it in place, and I'll be right back. So Stampin' Up! Had a they had a magnetic plate, and then it got faulty. It wasn't working properly. Okay. So you see how I did that? It's just cut out right there. And then the inside is this circle here. And like I said, I'll have all that information available for you. Let's turn this over. Okay. Hi, Annette. Thank you so much for commenting. I'm going to put your name in the drawing for these cards. It's good to see you. So for this card, I am using Design a Daydream, which is the, it's a huge pack. There's like 48 pages of designer series paper. And so I just cut this one down because I wanted something, I wanted it old olive, but I didn't have that in the other 6x6s that I was using. So I had to move to something else. So I'm going to use a little bit of the multi-purpose liquid glue. See, I can't talk and work at the same time, you know. It's like, that's why you just get bits and pieces of what I'm trying to tell you, and then I go back and fill you in once I can think about it. So like I said, you can use the Stampin' Seal, or you can use multi-purpose liquid glue. It's whatever you want to use. Okay, now we can fold this back. Since I hadn't folded it back already, it's easier to run the scallop, to make the scallop if you don't use your bone folder on those at the time. Okay, so here we're going to put this, I'm trying to remember if I did this first or last. I'm going to go ahead and do it now. Then we'll just have to, nope, I'm not either. Hang on a second. I'm going to put this on my silicone mat so that it doesn't stick. So what we're going to do first is we're going to stamp this leaf again. And again, we're going to use the crushed curry. So when I do these classes, I try to keep it to one stamp set. It's not always possible, but that's what I try to do. And I try to keep it because a lot of people, if you don't have these stamp sets, And in this case, the dies, I mean, not everybody's got a lot of money to spend on that, especially if you're just starting out as a crafter. So I try not to use too many supplies, but it's impossible not to use several, because between the stamping, and then you need your cutter, and you need snips, and you need, there's always extra expenses that you don't necessarily think about when you're going to start a new hobby. So now I'm just taking the cherry cobbler around the edge. Just adding it to the edge, just to give it a little more dimension. When you see maple leaves and they start turning, they don't turn all at one time. Okay, that's that. Now I got a little bit of cherry cobbler on there. I'm going to go back and just touch that up with some crushed curry. Now this time I remember I'm going to take my old olive Stampin' Right marker, and I'm just going to color in these stems, and you can do that right over the crushed curry. Now part of this will be cut off, but I'm going to go ahead and color it all, because I don't know what part is going to get cut off until I stamp it. All right, so now we're going to huff on this, like so. And I want to get the whole leaf on there. The rest of it I'm not as concerned about, because it's not all going to fit anyway, because it's got to fit on that circle. All right, so now here's the fun part. We're going to fussy cut this. I'm actually going to, so I won't even be able to keep the whole leaf, but I'm going to fussy cut around this, and then we'll put it down and then see how much of it we need to cut off the edges. So for this one, we can let the leaf hang off of this scallop circle, because we've got all this room over here. It can lay over there, so we probably will be able to get all the leaf on there. So when you fussy cut, you just kind of want, I was telling you this earlier, you just kind of want to go nice and smooth around everything, and then try to keep your scissors or your cardstock close to the back of the scissors, and don't cut so much with the tip, because the less you have to restart like that, then the smoother it is. So I like to leave a little bit of what I call a margin around it, that white cardstock on the outside. It doesn't always work out that way. Some people are really good at fussy cutting. I'm not the greatest, but I don't claim to be perfect anyway. I've heard people say, and I agree, it's handmade, it's not Hallmark. So it's going to look handmade. Let's go ahead and cut that. Almost there. So yeah, when I edit this and I post it up on my YouTube channel, I'm going to like fast forward. I'll do it. I won't fast forward too fast so you can see what I'm doing, but I'm not going to bore you with all of this. And also, this will be posted on my webpage at teresatucker.net, and it'll be posted on Saturday. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just cut that whirligig off. I'm not going to have room for it all anyway. And we'll cut around this one. So tell me, how long have you been stamping? Are you new? Do you use Stampin' Up! Products, or do you use something else, a mixture of different things? I'm just curious. If you don't have a demonstrator, though, you can contact me, and I'd be happy to send you a catalog. Just let me know. And also, if you go out to my website at teresatucker.net, and that's Teresa with an H, T-H-E-R-E-S-A, Tucker, at teresatucker.net, then you can also sign up for my newsletter. All right, so let's see here. I'm going to let the leaf hang off on this side. And then try to get this centered. So I need to cut off this and this, because we can't let it interfere with this, how this opens. I'll show you. So we can't let it interfere, so that if I had this hanging over, then it would interfere with opening the card like that. So that's what we're avoiding. Now, I did pop this up on dimensionals. And I can't put any on this side so much, because that's the part that's going to hang off. And right now I'm using the edges of my large Stampin' Dimensionals. There's no point in wasting it. And it's great for large pieces like this. I'm not sure. Okay. Just trying to see where I need to put more of the adhesive. I could put a little bit right there. And then I will use a couple of the small ones. Get this stuff out of the way. Now, if you can't put a full piece on there, just go ahead and cut it in half. Like that. So I'm going to a Stampin' Up! Event in November. I signed up for it about a month ago, and it's called On Stage. It's That's where Stampin' Up! Recognizes demonstrators for their achievements. So whatever you've achieved, they recognize that. They put your name up. If you're, if you're small potatoes like me, then they will scroll your name across the monitor. But the ones that are in person, they can get up on stage. But there's a lot of, hold on a second. Like I said, I'm not putting it on that one. I'm putting it right on here. Uh-oh. So if you do get some on the side that's going to be against if it's going to hang over, then you can just pull it and it'll tear. Excuse me. I need to stamp hello on here. No, hold on, I gotta get a drink. And I should have stamped hello on here before I stuck this down. But I think it'll be fine. Yep. All right, so the next thing is, so for the inside of this, I didn't put a greeting on there. The reason why I didn't is because sometimes you want to put something else in there besides what's come already with the stamp set. And since this stamp set doesn't have a lot of greetings on it or in it, I didn't want to go ahead and put that on there. I thought whoever won the cards would like to put their own sentiment in there or their own greeting. Okay, so we're going to do this trick again. We're going to take a piece of tape and put it on here. And then we're going to line the scallop up with this one. Like that. Put that over like that. And so now it's lined up so you can't see it when the card is closed. So that's it. And now we're going to put some gems on it. It's funny because when I'm demonstrating these cards, they go a lot faster than when I'm making them because I change my mind so much while I'm creating. I got sticky stuff on my finger. Okay, so there's that card. And I think I'm done with these adhesives, these gems. And the last card, I'm using different gems. So there's that one. Okay, so this one was really fun. I really liked how it turned out. I couldn't make up my mind. I changed it. I did all sorts of stuff. So, but I think I like it. So we'll get started with cutting that. So for this one, let's see, it's less than 3 inches. So that one I can put through on my mini. And this one I should be also. So this is for the inside. This is for the front. Okay, So what I didn't do here is I didn't score this. So when you start out with an 8.5 by 5.5 piece of cardstock, and then you're going to score it at 4 1/4, which is right here. So that's where you would normally score it for a regular sized card or for a regular card that you're not making a swing card out of. So now we need to score it halfway here. So when you think about 4 1/4, then we need to score it at 1 1/8. Right? 4 1/4, 4 1/4, no, 2 1/8. You guys wouldn't let me mess up like that, would you? Actually, I'm going to turn it over, and I'll tell you why here in a second. 2 1/8. Okay, so when you're scoring something and you want it to stand up, you want to make sure that you are scoring, or that you're folding it backwards on the mountain. You can see how that's raised right there. That's called the mountain. And this side is the valley. So this here's the valley. This one was the valley, and then I folded it in. I'll fold this back afterwards, but what happens, it just makes it stand up easier. So it'll stay there. When your friends want to display it on their mantles or on their table or anything like that. So that's why we score it like that. So now we're going to center this. Carol, thank you. Jenny, thank you. It's okay. It's all right that you're late. It means so much to me that you were here. And your cards are in the mail, girl. And hopefully you'll get them tomorrow or the next day. So I'll put that here to hold this in place. Now again, I'm going to put the plate 3 up to here and run it through, and I'll be right back. Ooh, I just figured out an easier way to do this. I looked at that and I thought, oh my gosh, what if I just did that on the wrong side? But I didn't. So that was good. All right, so the next thing we need is this piece that's going to go right here. And last time I made the cards, which was last Thursday, I explained how to cut down these if they're too long or too wide. I explained how to do that. So you can go back to my video that I did last week, and you can look on my website, teresatucker.net, and check that out. It's at the end of the video. So we're going to take this little seedling and the crushed curry. I'm going to wipe this off just to make sure I don't have some other ink on there that I'm forgotten about or wasn't aware was on there. So basically all I'm going to do now is I'm going to stamp off on this, and it's not necessarily something that you have to do. It just adds a little extra to the card. So this is how you make your own designer series paper. Demonstrators do this a lot. It's a good trick. Now, look how inky my fingers get. It'll come off with soap and water, but I'm not too worried about it right here. All right, so we've got this. Now, I also wanted to use the For You stamp. And I'm going to use Memento. No, I'm not. I'm going to use... Which one did I use? Nope, I was right. I did use the Memento. When you make a lot of cards all in the same day, basically, then it's like runs together. All right, so I'm just going to put this on here. I'm not going to use a lot. You're not going to be able to see it a lot, but I like the, I like how it looks. All right, so while we've got this out, let's go ahead and stamp our leaf. So I have my leaf sitting kind of cockeyed on this. So I'm just going to stamp Grateful right across there while I've got out my cherry cobbler. Now this is going to be a little tricky because I am not going to include the word so on this. So I need a piece of tape. And since this is used tape, I don't know if it's going to work, but we'll see. It's got to stay in place, while you stamp down on your ink pad. And then you take it off. So all you get is Grateful. So now the trick to this is remembering that you did cover up the so, and so it's not going to show up on here. So you want to center the Grateful. Okay, there we are. I like that. I hate to tell you guys this, but that's not Elvis singing. He sounds like a girl. I don't know who's singing, but it's not him. So this is a simple chamois. I know it looks really gross, but it's fine. I just wash it out when I get ready to stamp. And it washes right out. You just wash it and you rinse it and squeeze it and rinse it and squeeze it and so on until you get it all, till the water runs clear. Okay, so this, now I want to show you something different. So this is one of the chick dies, and I wanted something that wasn't solid, that I could put on the card as part of the background like this. I just thought it looked nice. It looks different. I like that, so that all of my cards aren't looking the same. Plain Jane. So I'm going to put this on here, but I want you to notice something. This right here is not the same as paper as that. And so I'd really like to know what your preference is. When I was making these cards, I was using the gold and rose gold 6x6 metallic specialty paper. And I thought I ran out and found out that I didn't. I had one sheet left. I went ahead and cut this out. What I wish I could show you is how to use the adhesive sheets, because if you run this through with an adhesive sheet, then it just peels off the back real easy, and then you can just stick it down on your cardstock, but I didn't. So we're going to put this on our silicone mat. Let me get this out of the way. And I'm just going to sparingly put this glue on here. This is the multi-purpose liquid glue. And I will just scattered around a little bit. You want to make sure that you don't use too much because it will bleed out. If it's under the leaf, it's not, no one's going to see it. But so I guess if you wanted to add a little extra to make sure that it stays down, you could add it in the center where it's not going to be seen anyway if it does bleed out. Okay. I'm going to flip this over. Now, I'm going to set this here like this. And you can do it however you want. In fact, you know what? I wasn't even going to put this down. That's why I had the for you and I did the background the way that I did because I wasn't going to add this. And then it just came to me at the last minute. And I thought, you know what would really look neat is if I put some gold on there. So I want to know what you think in regards to this 6x6 metallic paper. And the glimmer paper. So this is the glimmer paper. Isn't that bright? Oh, gosh. But it's beautiful in small amounts. I have another silicone mat, but I can't get to it right now. So I keep wiping this off. All right. So that's what I'm going to do for now. Let's go ahead and put the paper down on the inside. Whoops. Whoops. I'll get it. See, I get smudges all over everything. Ink. This is that 6x6 22-24 in color paper, and it's double-sided. It comes in so handy. I love it. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and fold this back. And then we'll burnish it. And we're going to put this on. I'm going to put just a dab of glue right down here at the bottom. All right. Now we can put this here. And I'm trying to line it up so it's right on the inside of these dashed lines. All right. Now, did I pop this up on dimensionals? I think I did. Yeah. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah, that's fine. All right, let me grab some more. Here's a new sheet. So I wanted to be careful not to put it over here because that part's hanging off. It's going to go like this. Oh, you guys probably can't hear this song. I love it. If I Can Dream. Oh my gosh. I saw Elvis in 1976, the year before he passed away. I was so thankful I got to see him. I was so sad when he died. Me and my friend Carol, she's on here. She was here a minute ago. I don't know if she still is, but she's one of my downline, but more importantly than that, she's a good friend. And we went and saw the new Elvis movie. It was so good. It made me cry, and then I got mad at Colonel Parker because he was awful. He was all in it for the money. And you know, Elvis gave away a lot of stuff, but not Colonel Parker. He wanted it all to himself. And he just tried to control Elvis all the time. Everything, all of his money. And then he was the one that made Elvis take the drugs. They'd give him the drugs to keep him going. All right, so don't let me forget to put the embellishments on here. So inside, I took the Thinking of You stamp, and I stamped it, and then I cut it down, and I wanted it one on top of the other because it wouldn't fit all the way across. You know what? I could have made it a card like this, and that would have worked too, but I didn't think about it. Okay. You know what? I'm going to get this out because I don't cut straight. And this way I'm sure that it's going to be straight. Answer's going to come somehow. Oh, my husband's home. We have security cameras around our house, and so I can see what's going on out there. That isn't very straight. I think I could probably do better like this. Honestly, I've had to re-stamp something because I don't get it straight. Let's see if I cut off. I'm going to go for this. Cut this like here. And then I'll cut this like that. And this like this. And we'll just trim a little bit off of here because it does have a little bit of a hump. Set those aside. I'm going to save this piece because I can use it on something else later. So now we're going to put the thinking here and of you down there. I might make this a little thinner. I need you, I love you. Okay. So if you are wanting to put a greeting or write something inside your card, you've got all of this space over here. You can add some more white cardstock and just write what you want over there. So there's that. Now remember how we did this before. We're gonna, this looks like it's been used up, but we'll try it. No, it's not sticky. Okay, so you can put this down without lining it up. You can line it up before you stick it down. So I'm just kind of hovering, and I'm going to line this up like this. And then when I've got it where I want it, I'll press it down. Okay, that's that. Now let's put some embellishments on here. Oh, you know what I did with this other, because it was so thick, all of the little pieces that came out of here, there were some small round ones, and I put them on here. But with this one, I'm not going to because I don't have those little pieces. I'm going to put this gold. This says red and green adhesive back pearls, but that's not it. These are called festive pearls. They misnamed it. I'm going to put this right here in this hole because I don't want that hole there. Look, it stuck to me. So the artists, they say to go with an uneven number of embellishments. So what do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe one more. Where should I put it? I'll set it up there. Okay, so that's that card. Yeah, tell me what you think. This was fun. I enjoyed having you here. I do want to know what your preference is, though. Is it the metallic 6x6 or the glimmer paper that I cut down? Let me know, because it's a big difference, too. I kind of go with this here. Seeing it side by side like this, I think I like this better just because it's brighter. So, okay, that's all that I have for you this evening. Thank you so much for being here with me. I really do appreciate it. I will have this up on my YouTube channel by sometime Saturday, and you can also see it when I post it on YouTube. I'll also post it on my blog at teresatucker.net. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel. That'd be awesome. Comment, anything like that. If you do that on Facebook, you're going to get your name in the many times that you do comment. Comment once, like once, share once. You're going to get it in 3 times. And then if you go over to the YouTube and watch it there, then you can comment, share, and like there. And then I'd also like you to subscribe. That'd be amazing. So again, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I enjoy having you, and I look forward to seeing you again. Bye-bye.